In a single summer, an entire nation consumes enough of these sausages to stretch from New York to Los Angeles and back again, 5 times over. It's a culinary juggernaut, yet we call it a hot dog. To an outsider, naming a national treasure after a family pet sounds like a bizarre playground prank rather than a beloved dish. We've all seen it, that salt-steamed synergy of a warm bun and a sizzling, savoury sausage held in our hands at roaring stadiums and smeared with mustard without a second thought. But behind this simple comfort lies a hidden struggle between European heritage and American pragmatism. It's a story of German immigrants, dark rumours of actual dog meat, and a legendary cartoon that historians still can't find. Today, we're peeling back the layers to find out how a humble sausage truly became the hot dog.
Stay curious about the simple things. I'm Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Thing.
What exactly is a hot dog? To the hungry eye, it's a salt-steamed sausage tucked into a pillowy bun, a handheld meal of pure convenience. But its name has always raised eyebrows. Why dog? For centuries, that single word has carried a shadow of suspicion, a dark joke about what might be hiding inside the casing. But here is the truth. There is no dog in a hot dog. In reality, what you're holding is a minor miracle of everyday engineering. This isn't just fast food. It's a descendant of an ancient craft mentioned in Homer's Odyssey over 3,000 years ago, a compact way for humanity to defy time and preserve flavour. In its modern form, it's a finely emulsified blend of beef and pork, cured with garlic and secret spices, then smoked until the casing reaches that perfect resistant snap. The genius lies in the synergy. The bun isn't just a container, it's an edible handle, a soft insulator designed to soak up every drop of juice while you're on the move. It transformed a messy sit-down meal into something you can hold with one hand while cheering for your team with the other. It's the soul of European tradition stripped of its formality and rebuilt for American speed. Simple, yes, but also a profound reminder that even a meal with a ridiculous name is a vessel for centuries of human ingenuity. It didn't start in a factory or on a modern assembly line. It began as a desperate battle against decay. Over 3,000 years ago, even Homer's Odyssey spoke of the sausage, a brilliant, ancient solution to a simple problem: how to make meat last. It was food born from necessity, where nothing was wasted and everything was seasoned into a compact, flavourful survival kit. As centuries passed, this humble invention travelled across Europe, but it was in Germany where it truly found its soul. Frankfurt gave us the Frankfurter, Vienna gave us the Wiener. Each city packed its own pride, its own secret recipe, and its own identity into a thin casing. By the mid-1800s, waves of German immigrants arrived in New York, carrying their language, their music, and their beloved sausages in their pockets. To them, these weren't just snacks, they were edible memories of a home left behind. On the foggy, bustling streets of Manhattan, vendors grilled these sausages over open flames, the scent of garlic and smoke cutting through the cold Atlantic air. But there was a problem. They were messy, hot, and grease-stained. Then a nameless genius had a thought that changed everything. What if we wrap it in bread? In that one simple move, the sausage found its American accent. It became portable, efficient, and perfect for a nation always in motion. For those early immigrants, that rising steam from a wooden cart wasn't just business. It was the smell of home in a brave new world. But how did a Wiener become a dog? The answer lies in a mix of German humour and American suspicion. In the 1800s, food safety was a ghost story, and rumours whispered that unscrupulous butchers used, well, everything. People joked that these long, thin sausages resembled the German Dachshund, but the joke had a dark edge. Was there actual dog meat inside? It wasn't true, but the stigma stuck. Street vendors embraced the absurdity, shouting, "Get your red-hot Dachshund sausages!" across crowded corners. The legend reached its peak at the Polo Grounds in New York. Vendors marched through the stands, their voices lost in the roar of the baseball fans. As the story goes, a cartoonist named T.A. Dorgan was there, trying to capture the chaotic energy. He sketched a dachshund tucked into a bun, but faced a humble hurdle. He couldn't spell dachshund. So, with a stroke of a pen, he simply wrote hot dog. Whether that cartoon is a historical fact or a convenient myth doesn't matter. The name was catchy, silly, and perfectly American, sticking to our culture like ketchup on a warm bun. Why did such a ridiculous name survive? Because hot dog just sounded right. Linguists call it phonetic charm, a hidden music within words that feels good in your mouth. Hot dog. The H pops like the heat of a grill. The D lands like a firm bite. It's warm, cheerful, and just silly enough to be memorable. By the early 1900s, what began as a street corner joke had transformed into a global brand. Then came the man who turned the joke into a legend, Nathan Handwerker. A Polish immigrant with a 5-cent dream, he opened Nathan's Famous at Coney Island in 1916. He didn't just sell sausages, he sold accessibility. At 5 cents apiece, his hot dogs were a meal for everyone, from labourers to celebrities. Nathan's success cemented the name into the very bedrock of American culture. It's a classic story of reinvention. A name born from a spelling mistake and the rumour of dog meat, reborn as a symbol of the American dream. It proves that in a world of constant change, sometimes what sounds right eventually becomes right. Is there actually dog meat inside a hot dog? Even today, the ghost of that suspicion lingers in the back of our minds. But here's the truth, it never did. The name wasn't a recipe, it was a survival mechanism for the soul. In the late 1800s, America was paralysed by a food panic. Factories were black boxes of mystery, and in 1906, Upton Sinclair's The Jungle ripped the curtain open, exposing the grim reality of Chicago's meatpacking plants. The public was horrified. In an era of deep anxiety, people began joking darkly, "You never know what animal is in your lunch." The term hot dog captured that tension perfectly. It was a little bit of suspicion mixed with a lot of laughter. It was the kind of humour that made fear easier to swallow. It reminds us that in the evolution of culture, humour often shapes language much faster than the truth ever can. Like so much of the American story, it's about turning anxiety into amusement and transforming a dark rumour into a beloved icon. Today, the hot dog is no longer just a meal. It's a cultural heartbeat. It sizzles at the centre of every American celebration, from the mustard-only purists of New York to the garden-stacked Chicago dog. But by the 1920s, the name did something even more remarkable. It jumped off the menu and into our mouths as an exclamation. Hot dog became a synonym for wow, a playful shout of joy that captured the very energy of a nation in motion. By mid-century, this humble sausage had moved from school cafeterias to Hollywood screens and eventually into orbit. When astronauts packed hot dogs as comfort food for space missions, America wasn't just sending calories into the cosmos, it was sending its sense of humor to the stars. This is the true power of Americana. It is deeply democratic. It's a food for everyone, indifferent to class or background. Whether under the neon lights of a stadium or the quiet shade of a family picnic, it remains a bridge between generations. It's a story you can hold in your hand, a reminder that the simplest things often carry the heaviest weight of history. I want to give you the 10-second rule. This is the fastest way to tell if you're holding a mass-produced snack or a piece of culinary history. Next time you buy a hot dog, don't just eat it. Spend those 10 seconds on the snap test. First, look at the casing. It should be taut, almost translucent, showing the gentle bronze of the wood smoke. Second, take a bite and listen. A true, traditional hot dog doesn't just yield, it resists. It should give you a distinct, audible snap as the natural casing breaks, releasing a burst of garlic-infused steam. Finally, check the texture. It shouldn't be mushy like a sponge, but firm and resilient, a sign of high-quality beef and pork. In just 10 seconds, you aren't just guessing, you're reading the DNA of a century-old craft. If it doesn't snap, it's just a sausage. If it does, it's a hot dog. So, is it just a sausage and a bun? Perhaps, but a hot dog is also a survivor. It outlived the ancient world of Homer, survived the dark rumors of the 1900s, and conquered the stars with NASA. It reminds us that even a simple name, born from a spelling mistake or a joke, can become a pillar of a nation's identity. It proves that beauty often hides in the details we overlook, and that what we eat is never just food. It's a vessel for human history, laughter, and the relentless drive to move forward. Sometimes the simplest things are the ones with the deepest roots. If this story changed the way you look at your next ballpark snack, show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. It helps us continue to uncover the hidden stories behind the world around us. And tell us in the comments, what other simple thing do you want us to explore next? Your idea might just be the star of our next episode. Thanks for watching.
Stay curious about the simple things. I'm Edward, and this is QC Project Simple Things.
And turn on notifications so you don't miss the simple things in everyday life. Because what you see is never the whole story. There's always something deeper beneath the surface. See you in the next one.